Turning back to our top story right now, Donald Trump under attack by members of his own party for doubling down on comments about the judge presiding over the Trump University case. Newt Gingrich, who has been rumored to be a potential running mate, had this to say.
This is one of the worst mistakes Trump has made, and I think it's inexcusable. He has every right to criticize a judge, and he has every right to say certain decisions aren't right, and his attorneys can file to move the venue from the judge. But first of all, this judge was born in Indiana. He is an American, period.
And we all know that when Donald Trump is attacked, he fights back.
This case should have been thrown out on summary judgment. And if somebody else were there, this would have been thrown out on summary judgment. As far as Newt is concerned, I saw Newt. I was surprised at Newt. I thought it was inappropriate what he said.
So why is Trump going there with this judge? We want to go to our political panel for analysis. Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall and former Huckabee campaign official Hogan Gidley. Hogan, I'll start with you. What's your thought? What's your reaction to all of this?
Well, I definitely don't think it was a good thing for Donald Trump to say. You've seen Republicans coming out saying pretty much the same thing. They thought it was a mistake. It's not a mistake that he can't recover from, though. What Donald Trump needs to be focused on, and forgive me for giving the analysis for Donald Trump, the help to him, I'm not on his campaign, but if I were advising Donald Trump, there are a million things that you could absolutely destroy Hillary Clinton with. She's got scandal after scandal. The OIG report just came out. We're on Fox Business. We're talking about the economy. And polls show Donald Trump leads Hillary Clinton on the all-important voting reason.
So you think this was
economy.
a mistake? Did he not intend to say that? Did it just kind of slip out? I mean, why did he say it?
No, he meant to say it, and he's doubled down on it since. And the question was even asked by another reporter, what if it's a Muslim judge? Do you think they, too, would be someone that would should recuse themselves? He said, absolutely. Donald Trump rarely retracts things. He rarely asks for forgiveness. He doubles down.
I want to show the viewer exactly that sound that you're talking about with him referring to a Muslim judge. Watch.
It's possible, yes. Yeah, that would be possible, absolutely.
Isn't there sort of a tradition, though, in America that we don't judge people by who their parents were, where they came from?
I'm not talking about tradition. I'm talking about common sense, okay?
You know, common sense, because, look, he has been very outspoken when it comes to Mexicans and the wall, and when it comes to Muslims coming into this country. In fact, calling for a bar on all Muslims a few months ago to not come in this country at all. So, Hogan, how does he... Does it matter if he recovers or doesn't recover from these? In other words, I guess he's probably not top of the list of Mexican and Muslim voters right now.
Not all, absolutely. He's not right now, so I don't know how he necessarily recovers, except he can focus on the issues. Regardless of your race, regardless of your heritage, people want jobs in this country. He's got to focus on that. Hillary Clinton has tethered herself to Barack Obama, good, bad, or indifferent. The economy is horrible under this president. He needs to hammer that. He's a job creator. He's a businessman. That's where he needs to go. He needs to stay away from worrying about judges and instead focus on Hillary Clinton.
Well, you know, that's been one of the criticisms of him, Leslie, is that he's a little bit mercurial. You know, he's throwing a lot of things at the wall. Some things stick that maybe he wouldn't like to have stick, but such is the situation with the comments on the judge. Let me ask you, though, does he need Mexican Americans? Does he need Hispanics in order to win the Oval Office?
Maybe not this cycle, but for Republicans in the future. And quite frankly, yeah, he really does. If you look at the rate of growth.
But why would you say, I'm curious, not this cycle? Why would he not need Mexican Americans in this cycle?
Well, not that he doesn't need Mexican Americans. I'm just saying that with the lack of support that he has among the Hispanic community currently, it doesn't mean he can't win when you just look at the pure numbers of the states in the Electoral College and that breakdown. But there are certain states, obviously, that have more of a multicultural demographic, and the Hispanic population being the fastest growing population and the fastest voter growing population in this country. They comprised approximately 10% in the last election. This is not, you know, here in California, and we have the primary tomorrow, here in California, there are so many voters that are Hispanic that are identifying themselves as independents that say that they are signing up to vote, even elderly people, to vote against Donald Trump. This does not help his cause, but I think it gives us a peek into who Donald Trump perhaps really is. If you do something or say something he doesn't like, he will attack you, and judges are not off limits.
But yet, at the same time, and Mexican comments and this particular incident aside, Hogan, that's what people kind of like about him. They're like, look, we're sick of getting kicked around as Americans. We're sick of the rest of the world telling us how we should live, and they want someone who will stand up to the enemy in a really big, brassy way. I mean, isn't that in some respects his strength?
Oh, you nailed it. That's why he's the nominee now, because he didn't pull punches. When you went at him, he came back at you harder. And a lot of people in this world want someone fighting for them. And yes, Donald Trump screams, he yells at other people, other countries. And a lot of folks are saying, look, my job's in Mexico, it's now in China. I want someone screaming for me. And that's what Donald Trump is doing. That's why he's popular. But it is a double-edged sword. If he focuses both edges of that sword toward Hillary Clinton, though, I think he'd do a whole lot better in getting people on his side, not just Republicans, but he'd point out to the rest of the country, I know how to create jobs. She doesn't. Stick with me, and we'll get back to work
Look, I agree with you. I've been saying that all along. He needs to stick to the economy because that is the #1 issue right now, and we don't have enough jobs being created. And we certainly don't have enough good jobs being created, and that's where his expertise, given his business background, should actually play to be his biggest strength. Anyway, Leslie and Hogan, stay with me. We've got lots more to talk about.